I also think they needed to learn a lesson about, respecting other people's point of views and having empathy and looking at other people's lives, not just through their own lens, personally. I think a lot of people need to learn that.
Yes. All right, let's talk about Febreze and these pillows that you designed, Touch and Sniff, correct?
Yes. Well, I'm so kind of passionate about my house, about Villa Rosa, which has been kind of shown on television so much. And I love flowers and I love candles and I love all the beautiful things that, create the ambiance in a house. But I have a lot of dogs, probably too many dogs, and I do a lot of cooking. So I'm always looking for room sprays and things like this. And I found Febreze actually when I kind of took over my house during COVID. And I thought, I love this product. And then I started talking to them and they were talking about these pillows. And of course, not all my pillows are Febreze. This is a special offer and it's a free offer for everybody. So they've got to get this, sign up, because there's nothing to lose here. But I scatter they're scattered within my pillows. But the brilliant thing about them is when you touch them, you can touch them 100 times and it kind of expels this beautiful kind of fresh scent. So for me, as I say, with dogs jumping on couches and in the kitchen, everything, they're really good. But I do use the fabric spray, in a lot of places, because especially, around the bottom of sofas where dogs sleep next to it. And it's really good. It's a great invention. So I was happy to kind of partner up with them and do this.
And there are 3 different scents, right?
Yes, but you have to sign up. You have to go, because I don't think this is going to last that long. So you have to go to FebrezeTouchPillows.com. I think it actually starts today, and then you can get a free pillow. It's just really great.
Love it. Pandora is pregnant. Congratulations.
I know.
How are you feeling, soon to be grandmother? And are you going to go by grandmother?
Well, I think they were talking about Nanny Pinky, they liked. Not that that's any indication of what she's having. It's been a tough 3 years. I've had so much loss with my mother and my brother and Jiggy. To have a baby coming into our family, and, she's my only daughter. So, yes, it's very exciting. It's very emotional as well, I have to say, just the thought of it. But yes, we're all very, very excited. How can we not be, Pandora's, she's also very tactile and loving person and loves on her dog like a baby. She's very much like me, Pandora, Jason. They're going to be lovely parents. And it's a blessing. It's a blessing for our family. It's about time we had some good news.
How did she tell you that the baby was coming?
You know what? She didn't tell me. This was months ago. I mean, she's 6.5 months now. She kept it quiet for a long time. And she just, she's much more private than I am, obviously being on reality television, but it's her choice. She didn't sign up for that. So I totally respect their decision. But then when we did World Dog Day, which was a great success, I have to say, she was organizing it. I said, Pandora, if you're going to go there at 6.5 months pregnant, everybody's going to know. So at some point, you're going to have to say something. She told me why she gave me a gift, which I undid, and inside was the sonogram, So, of course, and she videoed it. She videoed every kind of step of the way of me opening this thing and say, oh, my God. And Kevin was like, what is it? What's going to make you go like that? I handed him the little picture. And then we had a gender reveal party where she had these confetti things that explode, all over the garden, which, needless to say, I had to clean up, which was about 10,000 of them. I'm not telling you what color they were, though.
Okay, fair. We've had a lot of, big news in the Vanderpump world family. Chyna got engaged recently. How do you feel about that? Do you approve? Is this the one for Chyna?
Well, that was a question that, of course, Brock is the father of her baby, so I hope he's the one. But you do see a lot of this, I don't like to say story, but I'm talking about their relationship does play out on Vanderpump Rules this season. Vanderpump Rules definitely felt it was different energy, but it did feel as complicated and as intense. But because they were grown up, it seems like there was slightly more in-depth issues rather than, somebody saying it's my birthday and, it was a little bit more in-depth, that's for sure. And it was pretty fast season because I always go into it. I mean, I know there's a lot going on. It's the kind of show that you could actually shoot all year round because when you have a group of people, though, so inextricably entwined, also, with very different opinions and also provocative characters that like to, express their opinions. Things often get complicated. But yeah, it's a great season and it's coming back very soon. I'm not allowed to say exactly when, but it is coming back soon.
Okay, amazing. How did the babies change the vibe of the show? I know Chyna has a daughter, LaLa has a daughter. Were the babies around or did they stay home?
Well, the most difficult thing for me seeing the babies was because obviously through the whole COVID situation and through shooting, we're very, very, very careful. Everybody was tested every day. The most difficult thing for me about having the babies was knowing that I had this big secret and Pandy didn't want me to reveal it until she was 6 months. So I met the babies on camera. I'd sent them gifts and everything prior to that. Which I had a great time doing, I have to say. But yeah, I met them. But is Brock the one? Only Chyna will find out that. But it definitely got a little complicated there. And a few people had a lot of opinions and they weren't afraid to verbalize them.
Ooh, that's a good tease.
But he is very much loved, but it wasn't a smooth journey. You're going to see that. Yeah.
We've seen people come in and out of this show a few times. Obviously, there was a big shakeup. What would you say to people who maybe are skeptical about coming back with so many of the OGs not around anymore?
Oh, gosh. Well, LaLa wasn't an OG and she's front and center. James Kennedy's not an OG and he's definitely front and center. Raquel has a lot to say and gets involved as well. Vanderpump Rules has been a little bit of a revolving door, but, there were things that were said and actions that were taken. And I think in this society, personally, I would prefer people to learn from their mistakes. And I think we've seen a lot of growth on Vanderpump Rules of people stepping in the right direction and me trying to put them back on the straight and narrow. But that was Bravo's decision and there were tenuous times. But the show is fresh and it's good and it's the show was never built around one character. It was always about an ensemble cast, and that's what it is, very much so. But now I look at, James Kennedy and LaLa as old characters, and they're not. But, nor was Ariana there right at the beginning, and she's front and center. So, yeah, it's definitely a show that keeps moving, and hopefully will continue to do so.
Yeah, can you tease me anything about some new faces we might see on the show?
Well, there's always new faces that work at the restaurant. It's how involved they get, because it has to be cohesion with the other relationships. I have hundreds of people who work for me. Not everybody wants to be on reality television. You definitely see a lot of glimpses of people that, are involved in the restaurant. Because also there was a lot of mentoring going on this season because a lot of them don't work for me anymore. They're very connected to me, and I think that's through the longevity of the show. But there was a lot of mentoring going on as people trying to create their own lives and are looking to me for advice. But you definitely do see a lot of Sir and some new people, yes.
I know you've said before that you reached out to Stassi and whatever, never heard back from her. Any update on your status with any of those guys or just wishing them all?
I actually ran into her and, I did say, yes, I've called you back and I've called you and reached out to you. And she said, yes, you did. And she was very friendly. But that doesn't really answer my question.
But it was a friendly run-in at least.
Yes, it was. And I wish them well, I do. I also think they needed to learn a lesson about, respecting other people's point of views and having empathy and looking at other people's lives, not just through their own lens, personally. I think a lot of people need to learn that.
100%. This is a quick little rapid fire of name the first name that comes to mind about the new season. You can with the existing cast members.
That will be forever documented in print. Go ahead.
Who will surprise fans the most during season 9?
I think Brock. He brings definitely, some surprises. Yes. And that whole relationship is a little, eye-opening.
Okay. Who will have the most regrets upon rewatching the season?
Ooh, I think James Kennedy often regrets some of the things he says. Well, that might be me for doing it again.
Or bringing him back. Just kidding. I love James. Who has changed the most since joining the show?
I think I've seen Ariana grow up. I've seen Sandoval. Schwartz is still very much a puppy dog. I have seen a lot of maturity in some of them, for sure, because a lot of them have worked for me for years prior to being on the show. So just to see them taking chances, they bought their own houses. They have a modicum of responsibility in having children. So, yeah, there's been quite a lot of growth.
You bring up Tom and Ariana. I think everybody loves them and they have their family, but there is still something there to maybe he wants to get married and have the kids and maybe she doesn't. Are we going to see that explored again?
I'm not going to tell you the whole season. You've got to tune in and you're going to love it. As always, it's very well produced because it's, there's a lot of content, there's a lot of great music, there's a lot of great visuals, but it also moves very quickly. This show's never been for the faint-hearted.
Totally. Who has been the most consistent, you think, since their first season on?
I think Tom Schwartz is still the puppy dog that we all fell in love with. And he still gets so caught up in his puppy dog. Sometimes I'm like, make a decision, But he's eternally lovable.
And the last one, who is the number one guy in the group now that Jax is no longer there?
Well, I can't say there's one. No, it was never all about Jax. Maybe some of the stories, but they all weighed in on an equal level. Tom and Tom's, they're a pretty kind of powerful force.
All right. You froze for a second. I think you're back. My last question, how is Tom doing? And are we going to see more Tom on Vanderpump Rules or more Sir, or a good combo like always?
A good combo. It's definitely based at Sir. Tom, well, as it was voted, I think, #1 cocktail bar in Southern California just before the pandemic, and we expanded. Our businesses are doing quite well. They're a little quieter now than they were initially when we first opened because of the Delta variant. And we did draw a line in the sand about the mandatory vaccines, which I do believe LA will probably follow New York and do that. That's to keep our staff safe and our customers safe, or as much as we can do. But we're also very blessed to, in the 3 places in West Hollywood, to have big open spaces with great gardens as well. So there's a lot of beautiful outside dining. We're not just sitting on the side of a road with a table and chairs. Pump's probably got the most beautiful garden in West Hollywood. And Tom now has 2 gorgeous patios at the back, which a lot of people haven't seen yet, because we just opened the left-hand side before we were made to close down. And of course, Sir's got a very beautiful back garden and a front patio. So yeah, it's they've been quite good, and Vegas is doing well. Again, huge airy spaces, and as it was announced just recently, we're opening in Paris, Vegas. So I've been crazy busy. So what with the Febreze project, which I've really enjoyed doing, and I love everything about the house, and I love everything that makes the house feel special. Being involved with the whole Febreze and the cushion thing has been quite exciting. I've liked doing that. And yeah, designing Paris and taking care of Villa Rosa, all things combined. And I have a book coming out, which I'm still... I know. Well, I wrote most of it through COVID, but I'm still struggling with the bit at the end, and I need probably some organization, but yeah, all's good.
Oh, wow. I can't wait to read the book. Is it going to be from tales pre-Housewives, during Housewives, post-Housewives, and everything in between?
It's more, if I knew then what I know now, what I would do. It's kind of a little bit of an advice book for young women, but with some stupid shit that I've been through in my life as well.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you so much, Lisa. It was so fun to talk to you, and I can't wait for Vanderpump to come back and for everyone to get their Febreze pillow.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you so much, Cher. Thank you.
Have a great rest of your day.
Bye.